It's like, if you want to fuck me, fuck my mind first.
But like, I'm free use.
Welcome to the Down Bad Podcast. Already down bad. Welcome to the Down Bad Podcast, where we celebrate the good, the ugly, and the down bad. This is a podcast for the loverboys, the crashout cuties, and the hoes on the path of healing. I'm Quincy Yeoman.
And I'm Chris Mejia. Thank you so much for tuning in. This isn't a podcast where we want to celebrate a common occurrence that we all have, which is being down bad about something, whether it's being down bad about a person, being down bad about a job, being down bad about your favorite food spot closing down. Ugh. We've all experienced it. And while, yes, this is an opportunity to laugh at ourselves at the embarrassing things we may have done because we were down bad. But this is not a place of shaming.
No.
This is a safe space.
We're pushing P, positivity.
Is that what pushing P stood for?
No, but it's just something a friend said once, and I love that.
A friend said?
No, I know it's from a song.
Okay.
Not like my friend, what was that? Like
my friend Future? Yeah. No big deal.
No, my friend Janessa once referred to it as pushing positivity. And then I kept saying like I was pushing P for positivity. Mm-hmm. And I like couldn't stop. And I still haven't stopped. But I like taking that.
That's really funny that you say that, because in the years that I've known you, I've never heard you once say pushing P.
Well, Isaac had to hear it a lot. There's some people in my life who hear
it was more
of
an inside the house kind of thing.
Well, yeah, when someone's like, you probably shouldn't say that so much, you know.
It sounds like you and Isaac had a conversation where Isaac was like, if you're going to be saying pushing P, you cannot say that outside of the front door.
The problem is I mean, we both listen to a lot of rap music.
Yes.
I do sometimes feel like I am a rapper. Do you not? I mean,
no, I feel that. There's definitely like, if you catch me with the right song in the right space, like there's definitely sometimes at shows, like pre-gaming the show, and I'm listening to rap music that I'm like, I like, especially this latest Clips album that just dropped. I have legitimately, I'm not even doing a bit, I have asked myself, what if we sold drugs?
We're the same, because 2 weeks ago I was like, I could probably do a life of crime. And everybody's like, no, you couldn't. I was like, no, I think I could. I was like, I've listened to enough rap. I've seen enough fucking Martin Scorsese movies. I was like, I could do a life of crime. I was like, if I had a gun, I'm like,
out of all of the crime movies,
I don't know why.
That's the widest thing.
I couldn't think of a crime movie. I'm like, I've seen so many Wes Anderson
I know
movies.
it would have been one thing. It was like, I've seen Belly. Like, you're like, I've seen not even just crime movies, but like artistic crime movies.
I saw The Departed twice, and I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I've seen crime movies that are covered in USC film school, so
yeah.
I could definitely become a mobster.
Yeah,
because like right now, I've been playing this video game called Schedule One.
Okay,
have you heard of it? Mm-mm. So Schedule One is literally a game where you play as a drug dealer, but it's not like Grand Theft Auto where it's it's like literally you have to buy supplies like
no math. You're weighing it up.
Actually, literally.
I need this game. Is it on Switch?
Like, unfortunately.
That doesn't sound like a Switch.
No,
that's a PlayStation.
No. Nintendo is like, no, sir, you will not be doing that in our house. We are strictly we are a Mario household. We are not selling drugs here.
Which we're going to charge $100 for.
But it's like literally like, you have to buy the soil and the plants to grow weed, and then you have to water it.
Okay, cool.
Then once the weed grows, you have to cut the buds, and then you have to buy plastic baggies to bag the weed, and then you have to build a client base and meet up for drug deals, but then not get spotted by the cops. And then you also then like you can. Then from there, you like upgrade to where you get a dealer who can help you sell to clients. And then you upgrade where you can then start selling meth. So you get the supplies to make meth. And then you later on in the game, you get to sell and make cocaine. But it's like less about the excitement of like what Grand Theft Auto is and more of like the daily tedious task of like growing
the day
to day of being a drug dealer. Like literally, you even have to, once you like do all the stuff. You have to throw away your trash.
That's so funny.
And you have to like put it in the trash bins and stuff like that. And it's like, one, it's making me realize that I love video games, that it's like my ADHD can just hone in on like doing tasks.
Yeah.
And I feel productive. Because that's a whole genre. Like, for example, cozy games like
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley.
Yeah, Stardew.
Like it's literally that, but it's just you're a drug dealer.
I need that game. The problem is I do think I could do a life of crime, but I like want to be hired in at the like managerial level.
Oh, well, you can get to that point where like you buy like a farm barn and you can just hire people to do the growing and the distribution and the cleaning and all that. Yeah, you can get to that point. I haven't gotten to that point.
Okay.
But the reason why I bring it up is because I will be recently this week, actually, I've been playing the game and I will put the Clips album on, or I would put on Freddie Gibbs, and literally an hour in, I'm like, I mean, I feel like I could start cooking meth.
I want to be like the top dog's like right-hand man.
I don't want to be the boss, because the boss always gets gunned down.
Yes, but I will like, protect the boss.
Yeah. I love being a helper. I don't like being a leader.
Okay. I like being a leader, but I want to be realistic about where I'm at. Look, I'm like being realistic. Having never done anything in the drug world, I should be realistic that I can only be assistant manager with my
I love how the hesitation of I can't be a drug lord because morally it might be wrong.
And that's not why.
No. It's because that's just, I'm entry level.
I feel like I would kill it at the drug lord thing. Like, come to my house, we'll party. I love wearing gold chains.
I have to be realistic when I'm on Indeed. I can't be exactly. I can't be like, I want to be drug lord. It's like, okay, I'm entry level. Where can I intern? Where's the assistant drug dealer positions?
I will say though, on the down bad note, I think this would be a fun story to share. Remember when we saw Freddie Gibbs at Day in Vegas?
Oh my God,
One of the most
iconic
down bad performances I've ever seen in my life.
Well, so some context. This there's a I don't even think it
1 or 2 years.
Yeah, I don't even think they're doing it anymore. There was this hip hop R&B themed music festival in Vegas that only happened 2 years called Day in Vegas. And
it was 3 days.
It was 3 days. Yes, clarification. I see that was already red flag right there. Yeah. And on top of that, the first year when we went, because we had a solid crew who went, and when we went, it was literally like shortly after,
days after,
like COVID was still like, we were all like, we're allowed to be outside.
It was 2021.
Yeah.
But also the Travis Scott incident had just went down.
Yes.
Because he was a headliner.
It was like a week or two later.
And he got pulled. Replaced with Post Malone, one of my other greatest down bad moments. Missing Posty that day. But that's neither here nor there. I would not be a good drug dealer for that statement alone. But
because you know how drug dealers always want to hang out. And if I had a drug, I've never experienced a drug dealer.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't do drugs in Florida, and then when I moved to Washington, weed was legal.
Yeah.
But I can't. If I had to meet up with my drug dealer and he was like, "Hey man, you want to stay around and listen to Posty?" I'm reporting them to the police.
Here's the thing. We'll get back to the Freddie Gibbs thing. I feel like the drug
That's right.
dealer,
defend your man. Look into the camera when you defend your man.
No, I'm not going to defend Post. I'm not going to defend Post. But I will say, but that is my dog, Texas Forever. But I will say that the relationship between a drug dealer and a buyer is like a crucial social interaction that like made me better at being social. Because it's like you go to this person, you're like, okay, this is what I need. It's like, it is somewhat transactional, but it's also like showing respect because this is transactional, and like that being an okay relationship, and like having to also chill with someone who you like might not always vibe with. Like,
okay, you know what? I was shading you at first, but I
had a point.
Yeah. Okay. You're actually cooking with that.
Yeah. Cause I was like, that's like one of those like formative interactions that I think helped me be like, okay,
yeah,
this is just, Like now it's like you'll say something to someone and they like won't even say anything back.
It teaches, it honestly teaches you how to set boundaries because you're like, I don't want to hang out with my drug dealer.
Yeah, you're like, I have to leave in like an hour and a half.
They're pushing to hang out and you're like, no, thank you.
But also it's like, they'll smoke you out. So it's like, you're, you know.
Yeah, and you don't want to be high around your drug dealer. You don't know them like that. Yeah. I love my barber. All like barbers that I've had, I love them to death. I'll see them as often as I can. I don't know if I want to hang out outside of the barbershop.
Yeah.
Which actually, no, my latest barber actually seems like he's the first time I've had a barber who like seemed like a cool dude.
Yeah.
Like a dude who like every other barber I've had, I'm like, oh, I feel like if I hung out with you in person, I would have to show up to court one day.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting questioned for sure.
Yeah.
He's the first barber I've had where it's like, oh, you're like regular.
Yeah. Just a regular guy.
Yeah. You're like a cool dude. I don't gotta worry about you.
Yeah.
I don't have to feel morally queasy about seeing my barber, which also barbers have made me really, that's going to be a future episode.
Barbers, come back for season 2 on that. I have a lot to say about barbers too. I have had a few myself.
But to go back to Day in Vegas, it was shortly after like the world opened. So it was like, we were all kind of going to this music festival being like, we might die from seeing IDK. Like this is
November 2021.
And it was amazing. Like I got to see so many rappers.
Oh my gosh, we saw Doja Cat.
Which was actually not too far off from when we found out that she was in the racial chat rooms showing feet.
I thought she was doing that for a while.
She was, but we found out about it like in COVID, I feel like.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah. Which is like, it's so funny. We were all like, yo, that's crazy, Doja. We don't fuck with that. And then like a month later, we were like, die. Get back in here.
Yeah.
Which is honestly like, I still listen to Doja Cat.
Oh, me too. We saw Kendrick when he was in his like fast pre-GNX as he was like mentally and spiritually preparing for who he is now.
He was letting us know he was going to go through his Hotep phase.
Oh, that look on his, I was like, this is crazy, right? I remember looking at me like, is everybody seeing what he's wearing? I was like, are we on like a cult thing? I mean, shouts to Kendrick, I'm in the cult. But I was like, it was intense.
Yeah, it's a fun cult. There's cookies every Thursday.
Truly. All these like white face, but that's another story. But Freddie Gibbs comes up. I mean, I have a sense that...
That's why we brought it up.
Yeah, Freddie Gibbs, I think, which I mean, if I was a performer, it was like, we're fresh out of the pandemic. I'm pretty sure he had been drinking since the night before.
Oh, 1,000%.
It was like, he was like going hard. It's also like festival shows, I'm sure it's so hard for artists because it's like, people don't know all your shit. So it's like, people aren't like there for you.
And a lot of that crowd, because he was like in the late afternoon.
He was in the late afternoon. It was a lot of white kids. It was still sunny out.
And it was a lot of white kids. And they're clearly there because they want to see the headliner. Yeah. So they're like taking
There was a lot of Travis Scott heads that were like pissed.
Yes.
I feel like it was a lot of like the Travis Scott crowd.
Yeah. I could tell I was flying to a music festival because when I got into my flight, there was a dude sitting in the row in front of me who had the Yeezy
I saw like Crocs. So many of the Yeezy Crocs that weekend.
It was like, I knew he was like, oh, he couldn't wait to bust that out.
Yes. I mean, I saw 1,000 pairs of those that weekend. But Freddie Gibbs comes out. I mean, he's been drinking pretty heavily, I'm sure. And he just starts freestyling some stuff. Mm-hmm. A lot of that stuff was saying fentanyl several times.
Yep.
Until the festival was literally about to be like, if you say fentanyl to this like crowd of kids one more time.
He kept being like, who got fentanyl out here?
Fuck academics.
Fuck academics.
And then he'd be like, fentanyl. But I personally, I mean, I love cringe, but I also was like, seeing some people who are so like talented just have like those really human moments.
Yeah.
Of like bombing. I mean, I don't think he felt down bad. I feel like he was still riding the wave.
He was having fun. And it was such a whiplash. He was like, fuck academics. I was like, I can get behind this. Who got fentanyl? And I was like, I don't know about that, Freddie.
Yeah. And then he was like telling people like, weed is laced with fentanyl. He was like going off on that shit. So
it did feel like he was getting paid to say fentanyl.
He was sponsored that day.
He was sponsored for sure.
Fentanyl.com, but in Freddie 10. But that was just like one of those iconic. I think about that performance all the time because I was just like, that was one. It was hilarious. Mm-hmm. 2, I was just like, this is like being a real fucking human artist right now.
Also, I will say, because I saw Freddie Gibbs again at Bumper Shoot last year. And I think Freddie Gibbs, well, okay, both performances, I left his performance feeling like a little let down. And I think maybe it could be 2 things. Okay. One, when he's in a festival, he cares less.
That's me at a festival. if I'm asked, I mean, no, I shouldn't say that. But like, that's hard. I can imagine as music.
Which I don't blame. Yeah. Cause it's like you're it's not your show.
It's not your show.
And I've seen too many times at festivals and just the crowd does not give a fuck about this performer who I'm like, yo, I love this person.
Yes.
So it's like, I get it. Like comics, we're the same way. If the crowd's not giving us anything, then we're putting in less effort into the set. Yeah. And then also I think another thing too is like maybe Freddie Gibbs, because a lot of his stuff is like that slow beat, deep lyricism kind of shit. Whereas like Freddie Gibbs might be a sit down rapper. Like one of those musicians that you're watching while sitting down.
I would love to go to like a Freddie Gibbs like listening party.
Yes.
Freddie, after we just said all that, please invite us.
We're available.
Yeah, truly. He's so talented. He's such a great musician. But I was like, I agree with that. There's just some rap and some music. Because it's like not necessarily the same.
It's not hype.
Yeah. I felt that when I saw The Weeknd. How many people were like just kind of sitting down for The Weeknd? But I was like, he has some like dancey or hits or whatever because he has that like 80s influence and all that. But I was like, oh, I think this is like music people put on and they just like sing their lungs out, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just a different vibe where it's like, it's not like necessarily club hits. You're like bopping, dancing the whole time. Yeah,
exactly. Where and that's the thing where it's like, sometimes with artists, I'm trying to think of, okay, so like, for example, shout out the white woman, Maggie Rogers. She is an artist who, I don't know why I introed it like that, but she, shout out the white women who are very into astrology. Those are the ones that I know love Maggie Rogers. And that's no shade. I love Maggie Rogers. I like that first album. I haven't heard the other ones. But she's one who like, she'll play these large venues and she's such, it's more ideal to see her like in a, like, small intimate setting. Yeah. But like artists like that, it sucks because like I'm glad that you're in these big venues because you deserve success. Yeah. But it's also like for example, I saw Leon Bridges at like what's that venue in Soto? WAMU. I saw him at the WAMU Theater in Seattle. And it's a huge venue, which is like great for Leon Bridges.
Showbox or WAMU?
No, WAMU Theater.
Oh, is that
right next to the stadiums?
Oh, I thought WAMU was kind of more out there, but okay, never mind.
I saw him there and like great for Leon because he's playing this big venue, but it was just like you would be so much better like in a small theater.
It's like, why wouldn't you rather do like 4 shows in a row, less seats, higher price?
Right.
But I don't know how that,
Yeah. I mean, hey, get the bag. If you're a musician and you're like an intimate artist, but you're playing large venues, by all means, get the bag. That's not a criticism. That's more of like, it sucks that I do think there's some music where it's like, this is meant to be in a certain set. The same thing with stand-up. Like stand-up in stadiums, like, yes, get that money. But I'm also like, stand-up is meant to be in a comedy club. Theater is the largest I think comedy should be in.
Okay. I could see that. Yeah. I think it just depends. I also think if you have like visuals, that changes it. I saw Adele in a big venue.
Oh, that's true.
And I mean, it's like all voice. This was like after one of the 20-something albums before she hit 30s. And she had a lot of visuals, but she also had like kind of a stage thing going. She's also... That girl's got bands, dude, for days. Adele was one of the funniest. I was like, keep her on the mic.
She has a great personality.
Literally.
She's so funny. The funniest thing about Adele was that she started getting black dick and then wore that Jamaican getup.
God bless her.
And black Americans all over, yo, that's fucked up. That's racist. And Jamaicans were like, no, this is cool.
Well, Black Americans, we take ourselves very seriously. That's so funny. But yeah.
Jamaicans are like, y'all need to shut the fuck up. Let
They're
this white woman wear our flag.
Yeah, truly. But yeah, that was probably one of the best down bad performances I ever saw.
Yeah.
And
we were just, and I think no one was phased because we were all just locked up in our houses for so long that every single time he was like, who got fentanyl? I was just like, honestly, I'm pretty open. The fentanyl's not going to be the worst thing that's happened to me this year.
I think we had also just taken a little something to elevate our experience.
Yeah.
And
that was the first time I tried Molly.
Yep. I wasn't going to say I didn't know. I wasn't going to say what we were doing at all. I'm on the record right now. I have done Molly, but it was such a small dose that I didn't really feel it. I had hints of it, and the hints that I felt, I was like, if this is what Molly feels like, and it feels like this more, I was like, then I'll love it. Yeah.
And then I got to have Molly for real, and. Oh boy, was I right.
I think there was a select few of us who'd done both Molly and acid that day.
Oh.
Because I think that was the same Post Malone night, which is why I had a breakdown. The down bad moment I had later. When all my friends were like, nobody wants to see Post Malone. And then I was like, too much of a chicken shit to just like stay by myself. And I remember I was like watching from my hotel room. He's like playing I Fall Apart. And I was just like... I fall apart. I was like, damn, I should be out there right now. I like had like an existential crisis. I was like, why am I such a fucking sheep?
You were watching Post Malone like that scene from Les Mis when Russell Crowe's looking out the window.
I was like, I didn't need anybody. I knew how to get back to the hotel.
You forgot that you could just watch things alone.
Truly.
I mean, like it's safer to not be alone. It was safer to not be alone.
Vegas is a dangerous spot.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Also, being on drugs is good to have like company, but it was like because I remember this next day you were doing your best to not like make anyone feel bad or anything like that, but you kept being like, I had to watch posts from my window.
I was feeling bad about myself for not fucking sticking up for what I wanted. That's what was. I was like, why didn't I was like, who cares? I was like, yeah. Anyway, so that was just. That's not even the subject for the day. Like 22 minutes in. That's not even what we came to talk about today.
Yeah, when we first talked about doing this podcast, we're like, we'll probably do 30 minutes.
Max. There hasn't been one under like 55 minutes, an hour 10. That's okay.
Like, is this podcast about being down bad or just whatever they're riffing about? It's a little bit of both, baby.
Yeah, truly.
So today, just so y'all know, every episode, we're gonna come in with stuff that we're personally down bad about. Either myself or Quincy will come in. We would also love if you come in with submissions. If there's anything that you've been down about, please submit into the podcast. The email is the downbadshow@gmail.com. Just shoot us an email. We also have a link. Yeah, we also have a link. If you go to our Instagram at the Down Bad Show, there's going to be a link tree that's going to have where you could submit a Google form.
Yes.
Actually do that because I remember the whole point is that it's anonymous.
Yeah.
So the form, it will be anonymous. So then that way you can just let it out.
Yeah.
We're not going to judge. We want you to feel safe and secure and trust that if you give us your submissions, we're not going to, even if we joke about it, we're not going to make you feel bad.
No, we have no space to judge.
Yeah, trust. We do not have a high horse.
You just heard me have a breakdown about not saying Post Malone, and this is going out on the internet, and I'm gonna regret it one day.
And you heard me say that I played a video game that made me think I could deal drugs.
Yeah, truly, we truly are. Yeah, we're open.
So we will love your submissions, and then when we have guests on the podcast, they'll be talking about things that they're personally down bad about. But to start things off, one thing that I wanted to bring to the table and talk about being down bad of is being down bad about crushes. And I want to make it clear, not like you're dating, like you're like in a relationship, like that phase of like when you have a crush on someone, whether you're like in the early stages of dating or you're not even dating at all. And it's like the level of which you are obsessed.
Painting your whole fucking life together.
You are posting every Instagram story and counting down to when they view it.
I feel like that is a problem. I'm sorry, but like
lower your
looking
voice
and watching my
Stop
Instagram,
talking about me like that.
that's not flirting, and that's not showing me the attention I want or deserve. You better if you reply, that's great. I love a little heart, but like if you're just orbiting my ass.
Oh, no. Crushes became so much more violent when social media came into the picture.
Yeah, because people got fucking delusional. They're like, oh, someone's watching. That means they are going to propose to me.
No, because like the amount of times that I've had a crush and they liked my story and I instantly came.
Really?
Okay, not...
Do you hear that? Instantly. So be careful, y'all. You're going to have like 17... instantly just shot it across like Spider-Man's fucking web. No, I love her. I will say it has warped.
I'm sorry, but the Spider-Man thing was crazy. That was...
Shouts to Spider-Man.
No, but it's very much like so like for example, I'll put myself on blast. I highly doubt she will ever hear this. There was a girl who I recently went on a few dates with. Now we're no more. And like I remember after the first 2 dates, I remember telling you, I was like, I was thinking for the wedding invites, like maybe like a elegant kind of curvy font.
And me being a terrible friend, I'm like, okay, let's design them now.
Like a scent of lavender when you open.
You get a butterfly out of the box when someone comes. Go Full Housewives.
Actually, we were thinking like when you get those birthday cards and you open up and it says happy birthday, like where it's like the audio, it's going to be like one of those. But it was very much like I was smitten. She made me laugh. Like genuinely laugh.
That's so hard.
And like
to do.
Was good with riffing and keeping up, and then was also like playful but not roasty.
It's like if you want to fuck me, fuck my mind first.
I was ready to show hoe.
Totally.
Like I was
if
ready
you can
to
keep up with the riffs and we're going back and forth.
I had a homie of mine recently ask me, she was like, would you date a woman who is funnier than you? And I understand why she asked me that, because a lot of men are insecure and they don't want to date a woman who either makes more than them or is funnier than them. Yeah. To me, that is so stupid, because it's like, one, I have a regular marketing job. Girl, I want you to make more money than me.
He's trying to be a stay-home.
Like if you are making boss money, I will be naked in an apron for you when you get home. I will do the dishes. I will clean the bathroom with a toothbrush. I will do whatever.
I love this.
You come home, get on the counter, I'm eating you out. Like that's which, for the record, I would do that if you were making no money. But like, I'm free use.
That's crazy to say. I was not expecting that at all. Oh my gosh. Well. Okay, so
now y'all know how much I've been on the internet.
Yeah. So starting out, low self-esteem issues. He said, I'm free use. That's so fucking funny.
I'm a good Christian man.
Literally every good Christian kid ends up free use.
Yep.
The pipeline from good Christian to free use.
The pipeline from youth group kid to freak, it needs to be studied.
We're both on that pipeline.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
That's how we know.
Truly.
It was actually funny. I never considered myself a freak until when I did Fun and Flirty and you wrote in that I was a low-key freak. I was like, I don't think I'm a freak. And then I thought about it. I was like, no, yeah.
Chris, okay, I'm not going to bust that story. Once Chris literally tells a story about how he wasn't coming up for air when eating the pussy. It would get filled with burps.
Yeah, I would. I've burped with most of the women that I've gone down on.
I was like, that's freak behavior.
I would. My method was I would like go and like act like I was kissing their thigh when in actuality I was just burping. Because I thought, yeah, they're not going to know. And they probably felt like, did this man just give my leg a raspberry? Like,
yeah, truly.
It was just like, nope, I'm just.
That's so funny.
Because I don't want to burp into.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah, that's literally a hazard. So I don't want to do that. But anyways, yeah. So I really liked this girl, and oh, the funny thing, yeah. So it was like, but especially like to me, like in this, like for example, on a dating app, you could be literally the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, but like if you have a prompt that's like makes me laugh, I am like, I don't care about anyone else. I need you to want to go out with me. Okay. Like I need, like and like anytime I've like, and it's actually funny because like the women that I've dated who were like genuinely so funny were also the most unwell people that I've ever dated and like damaged me a lot, which makes me realize I have to look into the mirror. But like we can't have two unwell people.
People have to like to be funny. You've had to experience trauma.
That's true.
You have to be like a little. It's like the awareness, though.
Yes,
they weren't at that point of awareness or trying to be like, yeah, I figured them shit.
You can't have. I was literally so when my friend asked this, I was like, I said that I'm like, oh, they're all unwell, and it was like me, my friend, and her friend. We were all in like a group FaceTime, and her friend was like, oh, I'm funny, and I don't have trauma, and I was like,
you're not funny. Sorry, girl, you ain't funny. You might think you're funny, but quoting Talladega Nights is not a sense of humor.
She was a funny person, and then we later found out that she did have trauma, so we got there. We got there. It was hidden. It was hidden. But it was very much like, I think, I say this to say like dudes who don't, like, I genuinely cannot comprehend how you could not want to be dating someone who is just as funny, if not funnier than you. Because it's like, for me, like, yes, I'm bi. And like when I say funny, people think, oh, from like a stand-up sense. I'm like, no, you can be funny in person.
You have to be funny in conversation.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
And in fact, I would sometimes like, I think I've never dated a comedian before, but I am more than happy with someone who's just conversationally funny, because to me, it's just nice where like sometimes as much as I love being around comics, sometimes it's just nice to be able to just turn your brain off.
Yes.
And not feel like you're going to get judged for saying a bad joke or anything like that. Yeah. And it's very much, I just can't comprehend not wanting to date someone who's funny, because it's like, if I can just riff with you and you keep up with it, like that's so like, I hang out with comics. That's literally one of my favorite things to do is riffing with comics. Yeah. And like riffing with comics where you don't feel like you have to constantly be one-upping each other, where it's just so natural, where it's just so, where it's like, you mean I get to have that and I get to like be vulnerable with you, and I also get to touch your boobs? Like
win.
Where do I sign?
Yeah. Well, I did read this thing once where it was like men only find like women funny if they laugh at their jokes. Right.
That was something I asked. I like, cause I had to, when my friends were like, have you dated someone who was funnier than you? I had to think, cause I was like, oh, was this person actually funny, or were they like laughing at my jokes? And I think while there's some women who are like, oh, you are like genuinely like hilarious. Yeah. I do think like I've had exes who like, sure, are not like funny in that sense, but are still funny. And like, yes, they would laugh at my stuff, but I would genuinely laugh at their stuff as well. Yeah. So it wasn't like that, but I do think that's a real thing of like, oh, she's funny. It's like, no, she just laughs at what you say. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's where I feel like I'm men. I love, like, if you're laughing at my jokes, I'm like, this is the funniest fucking person.
Oh yeah, that's a very attractive,
I'm like, wow, this is the funniest fucker I've ever met. And I'm like, did they say anything? I don't think so. But if you are thinking everything I say is funny, like,
sometimes we want comedy partners, and sometimes we just want an audience of one.
Truly. But I mean, I think now that's faded a little bit more for me now, because at some point I'm like, usually people like that, they actually, when they try to be funny, they actually don't know how. I went on a date with someone, that was kind of, and And I feel like he tried to like lightly roast me, and then I had like just a quick comeback, right? Because I'm always gonna have a comeback. But then he couldn't really go toe for toe.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, you're laughing at my jokes, but you can't actually like. If you can, the thing is, you have to be able to dish it and take it back. You know, right. I mean, this is where my masculinity is showing, because it's like it's all about the freaking game.
Yeah,
you know, like the power,
the back and
the
forth,
competitiveness, the dance. Yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay, it's one thing to be laughing at my jokes, but it's also like he actually couldn't take like one. Like jokes back, and then when he did come back and try to like riff on me, it was like, oh, you're like kind of hostile.
Yeah,
like that's not actually funny, because I can tell you're actually
just being mean now.
Yeah, you're just kind of mean.
And that's the thing, people. That's why whenever I'm on Hinge, which truly I'd rather be put in a brazen bull than be on any dating app. But at the same time, that's how you meet people. Whenever I'm Hinge and I see the prompt of like my love language is roasting, I'm like, oh, so you're just an emotional abuser.
Well, people say that. I just feel like people can't actually take the roast back.
Yeah. People either can't take,
they cannot take the roast back.
They love to roast others, but they do not like it if you roast them back.
Yeah, there's nothing.
2 exes ago was the red-haired devil. She was very much that. She loved to like roast other people, but if you tried saying shit back, it was a giant no-no.
I feel like there's another pandemic. I feel like this is with maybe younger male comedians, especially, or maybe this is actually just how men treat non-men sometimes.
Yes,
I feel like I've been in riff circles. Everybody's kind of like dissing on each other, roasting, having fun. I'll throw mine out, and suddenly people don't get it's a joke.
Oh,
and I was like, this is where men are literally so fucking gay. Because I'm like, you got it. I'm like, I just said, I'm like, I just said a funny joke, but you can't see that because it's like, you can't possibly like get hard for someone who has a little bit of like criticism for you or something. I don't know. It's like so weird.
I just wasn't expecting that to be.
It's true. I mean,
but it is true.
It's true. I've been in riff circles with dudes, even some like people are my friends, and I'm like, I'll like make a comment and I'll get like the dagger. I'm like, wait, but it was fine when this other dude was like making this.
Right.
Why is it not fine when I'm doing it? It's like, you know, I'm also a comedian. One.
Yeah.
You can't read sarcasm suddenly because but I think that's also being in the look I'm in, where people take anybody who's like presented, especially as like a black femme person, as like rude.
Yes.
But I'm like, this is funny because you didn't think it was rude when I was on stage.
Right.
But like now we're in the circle and all these other people are also being rude.
Right.
It's like, get over yourself.
Yeah.
So I that drives me nuts. But I feel like, because I had a conversation, I was at a festival and I said something to some guy and I was just like riffing on this like kind of conversation we're having. And then he like got really kind of defensive. I was like, oh, sorry. And he's like, oh, I'm just being earnest. And I was like, you don't know the definition of earnest, my guy. I'm trying to yes and right now.
Right.
Earnest is being like, ha ha ha. And then you like are earnestly receiving this. So I don't know. I don't fuck with that. Let's say all that to say, I hate that shit.
The yes anding thing is such a underrated trait, because it's like, even like there's so many times where like, for example, like I'm either on an app or whatever, messaging someone, and I like make a joke and I forget that we're on different, like, I don't want to say brain levels because that sounds like I'm insulting their intelligence. Vibrations. Thank you. We're on different vibrations, where in my mind, I'm like, if this person's funny, they can riff off of this.
Yes.
And nothing.
Right.
So then I have to pose a question, or I have to basically hold their hand in the conversation. Yeah. And like, I think the reason why people who like I fall for is people who like, they're able to take that and keep it going.
Keep it going.
Because it's so funny how many people lack such basic conversation skills. And then what pisses me off is that they're sitting on there and like, this person doesn't have good banter. And it's like, excuse me? I get paid to make strangers laugh. If a conversation is boring, it's not because of me.
It's on you.
Like that's all on you. You're giving me short answers and nothing to work with here.
I'm going to add a racial layer to this because it's America and it's 2025. But I also think sometimes if you are a minority of any kind, I'm going to say like literally any, non-white person.
Yeah.
Your ability to roast and riff is already so much higher.
Yes, 1000%.
Than most white people.
Yeah.
Like literally everybody raised in like a POC household.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to be ready for that.
In fact, it's so funny you say that because I have noticed for a large portion of my life where like white people, their level of taking roast was such a smaller threshold where it's just like, wow, that's just mean. Where it's just like, for example, a classic roast that we all know, like that, for example, black people do is they roast you by literally saying what you are.
Yeah, like I was like, okay, pink shirt.
Like, oh, okay.
Okay, pink shirt. Literally. You know what I mean?
Okay, glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look who come with big ass G.
Yeah, truly.
And they're literally just describing, and it hurts. It hurts so much. And
it's all love, though.
Yeah, it's all love. It's fun. Everyone's laughing. Everyone has a good time. You'll talk about it in therapy later, but it's like, it's truly, that's why like every single time I see like in a profile, like, oh, roasting is just like, okay, yeah. I feel like you're not like you said, you're not actually good at roasting. You just want to put down other people, but then not receive that back.
Yeah.
Because if we're going to go bar for bar, this is not going to end well for you.
Exactly. I love a good roast. When someone really roasts me and like it gets to my core, I'm like, this person loves me. You know what I mean? If you can roast me on something that I'm like, yeah, you're right, I do that for real.
Even then, I don't even know if roasting is the proper term.
Just getting red.
Yes.
Like when I get cooked, the things I would like, I always say this, like couples therapy, that show, Orna, Dr. Orna. I was like, I want to get fucking cooked, bro. Like, take me, literally read me for film.
Yes.
Like, that's what I
told my new therapist that. I literally, at the end of the session, I was like, hey, don't be afraid to hurt my feelings. Yeah. Like, you're out of pocket. So I need to make sure I'm getting growth and stuff.
This podcast should be called Two Masochists. Two Masochists make a podcast. Because that's really what it is. We just love pain. But I'm like, you have to hit like the depths. I love when someone gets a good roast about me.
Because it's like, also, I think when you have a healthy, for lack of a better term, when you have a healthy presence of quote unquote roasting, basically what it is like you're being playful with each other in a way where you're not crossing a boundary and you're not crossing a line. And while you poke fun, it's never in a way where it feels like you're putting down each other. But then also you're allowing each other to express and highlight not necessarily vulnerabilities, but like where you're allowing each other to not have to be on and not have to be perfect. And you can laugh at yourselves.
Yes.
Because it's so much of like, because in my personal experience with dating, it has always felt like I've had to be like perfect and I can't make a single slip up. Where like the second I have a moment of not being smooth, boom, I'm never hearing from this person ever again. So like relationships that I've had that, whether it was a relationship or a situationship where I really enjoyed, where it felt like we had that playfulness with each other. Where it's like, I didn't have a smooth moment. They would make a joke, but it wasn't like demeaning. Right. It was just like, yeah, we're just highlighting the fact like, yeah, that was a little awkward, but whatever, let's keep moving with it. And that's why I think that aspect is so great in just dating, whether it's a relationship or a situationship, whatever, because it's like to allow each other to be real and touch on that without this fear of like, now that you know this thing about me, you're going to like leave or something like that.
Well, I just like, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I like just kind of value directness. And I also know it's like to be direct and to continue to like be direct and honest. It's like, you should be able to say what you're going to say. And if it doesn't land well, that's like, you can't control how people take things. Yeah. And I feel like that just shows a level of vulnerability to like be direct and whatever that way. And it's like you bounce back. Cause I feel like that's another thing that's different in like a POC household is like, I feel like growing up in my household, it's like we would say the craziest shit to each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like, oh, you're my brother. Oh, okay, that's fine. You're my mom.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, okay. And it's like, you move on from it. Or you're like, hey, that didn't actually hit right. That was actually too far. But I think people are so afraid of messing up. It's truly like impeding like genuine connection.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I love someone I can roast and can roast me back. If you can roast and roast me back, like.
Is that the thing that you would say that instantly like solidifies having a crush on someone? Like what's the thing? What not the thing, but what are some things that come to mind of like that really nails someone from being like, oh, this person could be interesting to like, I have a crush on this person?
For me, do you have an answer?
I do.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to go first?
I can go first.
Yeah, you go first.
So it gives you time. I think for me, it's definitely the, like, to go from like, oh, I think you're cute and I'm interested in getting to know you to like, oh, I'm obsessed with this. Or like, whether obsessed where I have a crush on this person.
Tomato.
Is very much that playfulness. That if we can, no. Better answer is if I am having the time of my life just talking to you. I am I literally like with this recent person saying I realized like, oh, I'm not like sapiosexual or anything because I know that involves like intellect.
Yeah, you can be dumb as fuck. I'll still fuck. If the vibe is right, that's like we have nothing in common, and that's also interesting to me.
No IQ, no problem.
Yeah, truly.
No, for me, I think it's like I get very stimulated from conversation. So if I have especially if I can be joking with you and then 10 minutes later, we're having a very deep conversation about something. That to me is because, like, for example, the girl who I went on a few dates with, we had that of like we were joking around and then we just naturally pivot into like having a real serious conversation about something and then go back to laughs. And it was like, I fell hard because it was just like that to me.
The ease.
Like my last relationship was that where like we would joke around, but then we would also have these like random on a Sunday having these deep conversations. And it's just like, I think now I've just become sentient to realizing like, oh, that's like a must for me of being able to just like, yes, joke around, but then on top of that, have the space to be like, oh, we're just randomly having a really deep conversation about whatever.
Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, I definitely see that one. I'm trying to think of things. The problem is I get crushes pretty easily. It could literally be like a look across the room. I'm like, are you trying to smash? What's up? But that's just me. But I think, okay, so I'll go that route. I think strong eye contact.
Yeah.
Someone who's not afraid to like make strong eye contact with me, I find extremely attractive. I do think directness and like a sense of personal power.
Especially the older I get, I'm tired of the game shit.
Oh my God.
Do you like me or not?
Yes. I also just like someone being, this is going to be a little bit of a problematic one, but you know, I'm kind of a short person in general, but if you're not afraid to get in my space, I think that can sometimes in a non-creepy way, I guess if I'm also actually feeling it, but like that is a big one for me.
I feel like that's a very common thing for femmes.
I don't think so. I think most femmes are afraid of that.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, true crime is on the rise.
That's okay. Like, that's true, you know what I mean? But it's like, okay. So the reason why I say that is because I was listening to this podcast and they were talking about the whole podcast was the girl who I went on dates with. She recommended it, and it was actually a really fantastic podcast episode. And the podcast is called Diary of a CEO. Yeah. And it was an episode where they talked about the male loneliness epidemic. Yeah. And they had like this woman who's like a psychologist or sociologist, one of those expert. They're both experts, but like She's an expert. Yeah. She also used to work at Hinge.
Okay.
And then the guy, I forget what he worked on, but he was also an expert in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So they were both talking about like dating culture and like also masculinity and all of that kind of stuff. But they were talking about it from a data standpoint and not just, this was my experience and this is what I feel like. Yes, they chipped in with those stuff, but it was mostly from studies that they've conducted or other people have conducted and data points and stuff like that. And one thing that the woman who she used to work for Hinge, and I think she's also has like dating clients and relationship clients, stuff like that. And a common thing that like a lot of the women that who were her clients, who are like liberal women, who are well educated, all of that stuff, they would almost whisper like, "Oh, but I like a manly man who just like goes after it and stuff."
I definitely hear that, but I think that's coming from a different place because I think that my desire for that is more coming from a mask for mask place.
Oh, I see.
Because I
see what you're
flirt.
Saying. Yeah.
And I also am someone who is pretty like direct in my flirting and I can be a little bit of a chaser.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I like someone who can like meet me in that space.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for someone to like read hints or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's like be direct about like what's going on here.
I see what you're saying.
For me, it's like someone who could literally match that.
That is the difference. Because I feel like what I was referring to is the read my hints and just go for it.
It's not like a heteronormative thing for me. I am like very much, I know I like look very femme, but I feel like the way I approach dating and crushes and what I'm attracted to is very much like that is like an equal thing.
Which is like, I feel like dating would be a better experience for everyone if we just approached shit more directly. But instead it's like all genders, at least in the heteronormative space, because that's all I can speak to. We are all like, oh man, dating sucks. I wish this was a bad experience. Well, too bad. It's not like there's anything I'm going to do to try to better it in any way, shape, or form.
Abolish heteronormativity. I also think I agree with that. Yeah.
Because the directness is like, for example, I remember one time I posted to my stories because I was watching a reality TV show. It was like a dating show. Yeah. And one of the characters one of the people asked, like a guy asked a woman if he could kiss the girl. And like, to me, I think asking for permission to kiss or have sex or whatever, so underrated.
Yeah.
It can be sexy. And even if it's awkward, it can still be cute and fun and adorable. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, out of curiosity, like I wonder how people feel about this. And because according to my Instagram stats, I think I'm like 55 or 60% people who follow me are women and the rest is male. And
people are thirsty for Chris on Instagram. I just want to say that.
They're thirsty and they keep their mouths fucking shut.
Yeah, so open your mouth. Chris is ready.
If y'all are, in fact, it's actually kind of funny because a few times I've posted like I'm in a relationship and then I get people who have unfollowed me and I'm like, I understand. In those moments, I understand how women feel when they find out their male friend just wanted to fuck them, where I'm like, so you didn't think I was funny?
Yeah. What? Yeah.
I was just a piece of meat to you?
Shit.
What? You don't think my riffs about 9/11 were worth your time?
Yeah, truly.
But I posted a poll where it was like, do you think asking for a kiss is like cool? Are you game? And the options were like, yes, consent's sexy. The next one was like, it depends. And another one was like, no, just go for it. Something like that. And the majority was yes. And a good amount of people said it depends, which is fair.
Yeah.
Because the way I took it was you're saying yes, but like it depends on how you do it.
Yeah.
But it was a surprisingly like much larger number than I expected of no. And low key, I looked through who voted no. I was like, yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. There is toxic femininity as well.
There's a few people I was like, yeah, that tracks.
I think that's like, I don't know. I hate that for one. I'm like, I think I don't have a preference. I mean, if you're gonna, if you're gonna try and then like be awkward, there's definitely times I've been like, I had a guy try to.
Yeah, there's definitely ways to do it wrong.
There's ways to do it wrong or whatever.
1000%.
But I don't know. I also am like, that was like in the rehearsal this latest season. He's talking about how do you like give your hand. She's like, oh, I look at the eyes, chin, and the back up, like back the lips, and then like back up or whatever. And I was like, it's
the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
Like, yeah. I agree.
Do you know how many times I looked at someone's mouth because it just distracted me for a second?
Yeah, it's like that's not a hint. And I also think this is the other thing that I have that I think some people don't is like a lot of Riz. I have like an incredible. I do.
No.
Incredible
I was gonna say
game.
I can confirm. I have seen when Quincy is rizzing it up, and let me tell. I'm taking notes.
I literally should do a master class.
Like legit.
I still have friends who are like, "What are the first messages I said?" I'm like, "This is what you should send."
Yeah.
Like I have, because I'm not afraid to use it. Look, Riz responsibly. But like, I'm not afraid to use it.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Truly. But I'm like, I think that's where like the banter, and also this, people aren't gonna like to hear this, but to have like that kind of bants with someone, you also have to be open.
Yep.
I feel like so many people are like, oh, I'm saying I'm time to this, but I want someone who fits all these boxes. I'm like, but who are you?
Right.
One.
Right.
And the idea that there's X amount of boxes that every single person has to check off, like that's so delusional and myopic.
I was listening to, so there's this podcast, The Daily, and I guess now they started doing where every so often they have a episode that's based on relationships and stuff.
Is this the New York Times?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And they had an episode where they recently had Mel Robbins on, who she's the let them theory lady.
Yeah. You got to divest from New York Times though.
Oh.
Just so you know.
Why?
They're like, yeah, there's a whole thing came out about how, they support Israel, basically.
Oh.
There are a lot of the journalists and stuff that they use.
Oh, shit. Well, it's a good thing I listened to them on Spotify.
Thank God I'm doing it through these other corporations that are also completely corrupt.
Good thing I supported them unethically.
Yeah, exactly. I actually only torrent them. Torrent my episodes.
I actually, there's a dude on my block who he just listens, he records it off of his speaker.
Yeah.
It's horrible quality, but I get the
Mel
gist
Robbins
of it.
Is a wild one.
But yeah, and she makes that point of like, she'll meet with people and she asks them all the time of like, you say that you have this and that requirements and stuff. And I forget if she was like, she would ask people all the time she would tell them to ask themselves, would you have sex with you or would you date you?
Yeah.
And like, usually people are like, yeah, of course I'm great. And it's like, no, but like how you act and how you move, like, would you want that in a partner? Like genuinely ask yourself that. Yeah. And like, she tells a story about how this woman who like lived in England and like was only dating people who were like nearby and like had a certain height, job, all of that. Was not about being outdoorsy at all of that stuff. Met this dude in Ireland who was like an outdoorsy guy who wanted to like climb. And she was like, ugh, like, I don't want to climb. I don't want to do this. Like, he was really nice and all that, but I don't want to do this. And then one day was like, because they matched on Hinge, but they were really, really far. Yeah. But she was like, fine, whatever. I'll travel to go see him. Now they're married and been like in love. And the whole point that she was making was like, we keep putting blame on the apps as if we don't have a lot more control than we actually do.
Well, yeah, and apps are like a trap. It's just to keep you on the app.
Yeah. Oh, 1000%.
I think the thing you can do, I was listening to somewhere, it's like join something, like meet someone in real life, like you can establish that connection. Yeah, I think the apps really fucked people up. Yeah. I personally had a method whenever I've used apps. I haven't been on apps in a little bit, but I have a method when I use apps. Why are you looking at me like that? That's making me nervous. But there is a method that I use to like kind of weed people out.
The way you said it was just very like you were about to be Tony Robbins.
I was. I stopped myself. If you want my method, that's going to be behind our paywall. But I'm like, there's a way to go about it to like, because it's like you have to get to that first hangout kind of soon, in my opinion. But I also think like, yeah, would you fuck yourself? this is where also my toxic trait, because I would absolutely fuck myself. There are many times where I'm like, yeah, if I met me, I'm like so down to clown on that. So
I forget what the question was, but basically the whole question was like, would you actually be like who you are? Like, would you be into that? And I think her standpoint was from, because a lot of people would ask so much of other people. And it's like, yeah, but you don't have that quality. Though.
Yes.
Where it's like, you need to be financially secure. You need to be emotionally intelligent and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, but you're not.
People are also just throwing around words.
Yeah.
This was my list. And I was like, someone with emotional fortitude. Mm-hmm. That's a big one for me. And a sense of humor. Mm-hmm. And like emotional fortitude and growth mindset, I think are similar, but two different things. Mm-hmm. But those are like the three.
Yeah.
And I'm like, other than that, I'm kind of open. Well, one, I don't have a type. Well, some would argue I do have a type, but I'm not going to talk about that. But I don't have a type in reality. But I'm like,
what? I'm just.
I don't have a type. Although you will look at my dating history. That's just another thing. That's another toxic trait. But I'm like, those are the things I'm like looking for in someone. And then if it's like, you don't match, So. And I also think it's like, I think I have a lot of friends who talk to me about this, but I'm like, I'm also like very open. I think we both are, so that makes a difference too. But I think, and I get that, like, I think there's no problem with like getting a crush on someone, getting smitten, and like being able to imagine yourself with someone. I think I read a thing a long time ago, but like essentially a person who is more apt to fall in love more often is one more likely to find love and more likely to find love that is a good love. Yeah. You know what I mean? In a healthy relationship, because you're learning.
Exactly. Because as painful as it is to be down bad over a crush, at the same time, and this is something where like if it doesn't work out, our first instinct is, I'm going to stay closed off. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. All of that. And it's just like, and it's like, that's what's frustrating about therapy, is that I know that's not the way, but I'm like, but I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to close off, but I know that's not right. And like my therapy side of the brain reminds me, it's like, yeah, like sure, it didn't work out, but like, wasn't it exciting that at least for a little bit you got to feel this excitement and joy and this rush of like, here's someone that I like and it's giving me feelings and I want to explore these feelings and hopefully get to a point where it becomes even more. And like, just because it doesn't work out doesn't mean you should now just shut the shit off and just, it's like, no, like in a way it's kind of, it's a blessing to have gotten to be down bad over a crush than experience a life where there's no one who gives me that joy.
Yeah, and just to like not let yourself be open to it, it's like you have to like let yourself just feel your feelings. There's nothing wrong with that. Right. And like know that they will pass. And as hard as something can be in the moment, it's like those moments offer you reflection of like growth and learning.
Yeah. I'll never forget my last relationship. It took a while. I'll put myself on blast. I refused to commit for a long time. I wasn't seeing other people, but I didn't want to be like, oh, here's a title.
I'm married. I still refuse to commit.
Real recognize real.
I don't know.
But I'll never forget, I was talking to my therapist about it, and she fucking from the rafters body slammed me with this, where I was just like, I don't know, like I just don't know. My last relationship just hurt me so much, and I just don't want to get hurt again, and like this and that. And she was like, well, do you like her? I'm like, I do a lot. And like, she makes you feel good and safe and all. I was like, yeah. And it's like, and you're afraid to get hurt. And I was like, yeah, like, I don't want to get hurt again. Like that's why I started seeing you, because I was getting hurt in the last relationship. And my therapist was like, Chris, no offense, but if you want to find love, you have to accept the risk that you're going to get hurt.
You cannot live life, period, on any level, like in control of what will and will not hurt you.
She was like, when you go on stage to do stand-up, you go on stage knowing that there's a risk that you'll bomb, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And like in that you'll bomb and you'll feel bad and it'll bum you out. I was like, right. She's like, but why do you do it? Because I love stand up and I love the joy I get from it. She's like, yeah, but that joy never comes without the risk of you bombing.
Yeah.
And she's like, love is the exact same way. You can't date and want to have a relationship and expect to never have the risk of like getting hurt. Like if you want to find love, love is where you accept that this person has the chance to hurt, to potentially this goes south and hurts you, but you're okay with taking that risk because you more so want to explore what could be with this person.
Yeah, that's so real.
And she said that, and I slid down my chair so much that she couldn't see me on the Zoom anymore. And then I sat back up and I said, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'm not paying for this session.
So I was like, actually do not bill me for this.
Yeah. That's so real. I mean, I hear that. I personally, like, I said this to someone today, and I think it is true. I actually don't really have a fear of rejection.
Okay, there's no need to brag.
It's not a brag. I think that's actually like maybe like psychosis. But
it's not a bag. I'm just better than you.
No, I don't think I'm better than you because it takes me down. Like I will. You've seen I crash out literally every 3 days.
Yeah.
But because I also like am just thinking too much about shit. But like I also it's like I'd rather just like do that and know than to not know.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, the idea of like sitting in like a limerence or like, what does it all mean for like so long? Like, that's not a sense of control. The control can come when you're like, okay, actually, I don't feel this way about you. Okay, cool. Maybe I was misreading that feeling.
Right.
What was this coming from? Why did I, like, I have this like just, it's more of like a compulsion to like know as much as possible.
Where like, if you're going to be sad, you might as well be sad based off of reality.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And it's like, I don't know. So I'm also like, I think stand-up helped a lot with that too.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's true.
say,
because it's like, there's so many times where it's like, oh, I don't think I'm good enough for this show or I'm good enough for this festival. And it's like, or you can just apply and then what's the worst thing that happens? You're told no and you're in the exact same position that you're in now.
Well, I mean, it's like literally, I mean, stand-up in a lot of ways is like, truly rejection therapy. It's like I have been on stage in front of thousands of people killing it. And then I have been at a bar show with 5 people who fucking hate my guts. Like the next day. You know, it's like
you can look in my eyes and see me write the suicide note. I'm bombing that hard.
Truly. And then I'm like, okay. But you know what you learn more from? The bombs.
Yes.
So I'm like, I'm okay with like that. I don't know. When people are always like, oh, you're like, have so much game. You've like found love. You're always like open to this, open to that. And I'm like, that's because it's just like, why not?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, we gotta be living.
That's the thing. There's like some friends of mine who are women who they'll tell me about a guy they have a crush on. And I'm like, well, they haven't made a move. I'm like, well, why don't you make a move? And it's like, well, I'm like, and then it becomes this whole like, no, like he should make a move and all that, which is always.
Why?
I always challenge it, and then finally they'll usually go, "Well, I don't want to get rejected," and I'm like, "Well, boo fucking who?" Like,
this is a message to all the hetero women out there. Men are so fucking easy.
Literally,
straight men are so fucking easy.
Literally, I tell my friends that all the time. You would be surprised how much dick you can get just by making like perfect example. I tell this to all my friends who are always having this whole thing about making the first move. My brother, like over 10 years ago, went to a bar for an organization that he was in in college. They were having an event and he's just wearing a USF shirt, the college we went to. And my sister-in-law now approached my brother because she was drunk and thought that guy's cute. I want to talk to him. Approached him, made fun of the fact that he was wearing a USF shirt. They started talking. 10 plus years later, married with 3 kids.
Boom.
And like my brother, he was a player. He was a ladies' man. He had his whole days. Yeah. But he reached that point where like...
he a clan. Good looking crowd. Good looking crowd. Yeah.
But he was very much like when he went, he wasn't going to that bar that night to pick up women. Yeah. He was there for the social. Yeah. He was literally there to show up, show face, and then go home.
Yeah.
And so if she never would approach them, they never would have met.
Yeah.
But because she made that first move, married with 3 kids. And I tell that to my friends who are women all of the time. And it's like the amount of potentially great. Yeah, sure. You might approach a man and he's garbage, but like you're staying on the apps waiting for people to make the first move and they're garbage. So like, why not change things up a little bit and take more control in your life? Because who knows, that guy who you approach might be the one, and he's a nice dude and just sees you and goes, that's a beautiful woman, but I don't want to make a first move because she's with her friends and I don't want to be the millionth guy who comes up to bother them. So I'm just going to chill over here and then y'all never meet.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they think, oh, well, if I have to make the first move, I'm going to have to hold his hand with everything. It's like, no, sometimes,
that's not true.
Sometimes people just need to know the light is green.
Exactly.
Because we're not going to know from you looking at my fucking chin and my eyes or what. Like, I'm not going to know from that. I'm going to think there's something on my face.
Is there something on my teeth?
It's like, oh shit. Like, did I not wipe off all of the lotion on my face? And I just look like.
Seriously. No, I totally agree with that. I'm like, also, it's just like, what do you have to, like, you might get a no. I don't know. This kind of expectation of you just, people just like waiting in a tower, waiting for things to like come to them.
It's so stupid.
It's like, when does that ever happen?
I mean, I'll roast myself. I've never approached a woman at a bar and like hit on her for that reason of like, I don't want to bother them. I don't want to come off as creepy. I don't want to so like they're with their friends. I don't want to be the millionth dude who approaches them. But then as much as I say this, I know I also have to be like, get over yourself and just
say what's up.
Just say what's up. And what's the worst thing you're going to happen? You're going to go home alone like you already were. And like,
if you see me in a bar and are curious, come up. And if I'm interested, you'll know.
If you see me in a bar, please.
Yeah, just say what's up. I'll let you know.
I take that back. I'm so dumb, and I still struggle from the fact that I grew up and had a glow up, and I still don't think that I'm a desirable person. That you could literally, a woman could approach me and be like, "I want to fuck you," and be like, "She's quirky."
What a jokester. What a jokester this one.
All right, where's the cameras?
No, it's actually so funny. I had a good friend of mine, when we first hung out, fellow comedian, me and her, we go and we have like a dinner together. She's asking me questions about the shows, about the deal. And it's so funny because during that, she was like, can I ask you, like, is this a date? And it's like such an iconic, great start to a friendship. I love that story. And I laughed so hard. And then I was also like, you'll know if we're on a date. Because because I'm a vibe sexual, which people have told me to stop saying, but I am a vibe sexual. It's all about vibes. I don't care who you are. You know, if it's right, it's right. But like, I will be on it if I'm interested in you. Yeah,
we're actually about to get a knock on the door from the police to get you this.
They're like, you gotta be arrested. But I was like, that's the best way to describe it, you know? Because I'm like, it's vibes for me. Like, and also, it's like, even if the person doesn't like you back, it's always nice to be wanted. Like, why can't I can offer you that little bit of happiness that you know that I like thought you were hot or whatever. I think the problem is, this is going to be another episode. We're already at like over an hour, but this is my problem. And I see this mostly with like cis men is like expressing interest and then them taking it too far. So you're in love with me. And I'm like, no, I said like, I could be curious about you. And then it's like the whole like I think this is like heterosexuality and heteronormativity. Yeah. Is the like, oh well they said this, but they must really mean this. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. People do not believe, especially I think women's femmes, non-men, when they say like I'm a very like I mean what I say what I mean person, and nobody ever wants to believe that. Right. And they're shocked when I'm like, well, I didn't say that and I didn't. You are taking it to that level. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I also have no qualms. Like, I'll double text you if I have something to say to you. Yeah. That doesn't mean that I'm like thinking about you all day, every day. Right. I'm just okay with expressing myself and I don't have that fear. Yeah, the whole double texting stigma is so stupid. Or it's like, I don't care. This is another thing that's come up where people are like, oh, you text me and then I waited too long to respond and I got scared to like say something. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Text is a non-urgent form of communication. Yeah. That's the other thing I have to say. Text is if you want to actually get a hold of me, show up my door or give me a fucking phone call. Right. I'm not if I text you, I do not expect for you to immediately. I'm not going to text you and be like, hey,
the only time I want it immediately is if I'm drunk.
If I'm like, hey, I'm at your door, what WID? You up?
But no, that's true.
But it's like,
it's like, I got overwhelmed and I just felt all this anxiety, so I didn't want to text you.
And I felt bad. I didn't. It's like,
and then now I ghosted you, and it's like,
that's a you thing.
Yeah,
that's a projection. I'm like, people need to also like. That's another part of being open is understanding that someone might not feel the same way about things that you do.
Right.
But
you're making this giant assumption of like people are like, oh, well, you're going to be mad. It's like, you don't know how I'm going to feel.
You don't know how I'm going to feel.
And you're only going to know if you communicate. And then that's also why it's like, that's why I also appreciate directness. Cause it's like, if you can't handle being direct and communicating those small things, how can I expect you to communicate in a relationship where we are so deeply emotionally, mentally, and physically invested?
Financially
invested in each other.
Because I'm like, it's crazy when I hear couples and they're like, oh, we never talked about money.
That's like, and you walk down the aisle?
No. It's like, you tell me you tell me your dad, you tell me how you handle this. Da-da-da. It's like, yeah.
I one of my college best friends, he was just telling me how him and his fiance, his fiance's like sister or something, younger sister was like dating this guy and basically said to her sister of like, the younger sister said to the fiance of like, oh my God, you and your man like have a joint bank account? Like no, you shouldn't do that. If you're going to get married, you shouldn't have a joint bank account. And it's like, and from the standpoint of like, you can't trust, you're going to be too dependent on him if you have a joint bank account. And it's like, do you not know how things work?
It's like the tax break. Also, you can protect yourself financially and still save share finances.
Right.
People are wild. But then it's like, that's the same time people will say that and then be like, I'll only date a man who makes like 7 figures. It's like, okay, bitch, well, why does he have to make 7 figures if you're not trying to share a bank account?
That got me. I just spilled on myself.
But it's true.
Yeah, that's 1,000. Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, why does he have to make that much? If you're not going to share, then what the fuck? He could be working at fucking McDonald's.
Right, exactly.
And if he's paying his bills every month, don't ask questions.
I've always said to people, if you're going to date someone for superficial reasons, don't get surprised if they treat you superficially.
Truly.
Whether it's like you're dating them for money or because of their height or they have a certain job. And then they're like, oh my God, they were trash. It was like, yeah, because your reasons for liking them were trash.
I mean, every guy that I've ever been with who I'm like, well, he's 6'4". We ain't together. They had nothing else going for him. And I'm like, oh, well, he was like tall, hot. But it's like,
yeah, because I was the men that I know who are tall, they know that's all they need to be. All they need to be is tall.
Or like, there's so much. Yeah, look, we got podcasts for, we have like 7 more subjects to come up. But I do think the crush thing, I understand being down bad about that. Just that like kind of, because I've been there where it's like, oh, I was seeing so much and I like saw so much. It's like you feel ashamed for seeing potential in something, but it's like, no, that just shows you were open. And the fact that you can see that with multiple people or different types of people means that you're like open to love. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So
better to have loved and lost than never loved at all. But also being asexual sounds dope.
Couldn't be me. I do have phases of asexuality. And I do feel very powerful. I get a lot more done. I feel like that episode of Seinfeld where George like stops having sex and he understands physics. When I'm like, it's bad. When I'm like not horny, I'm like.
I remember late last year. When I was unemployed and I hadn't been touched for a while, still haven't been. And I was just like, you know what? I may be lonely, but you know what? I know a lot about the Ottoman Empire now. Yeah.
It's like, I'll start reading books. I'm like, shit, I didn't even know I could do that. Using words I never knew it'll access different things. When I'm in a non sexual phase, I'm like, okay, if only I could keep up this power. But then
I'm learning a lot more about chemicals.
Truly.
Pussy was just slowing me down.
Shit. But I mean, it's real. But then like one freaking close talking, bright eyed.
I will burn every book that I have.
Truly, I'm dumb as fuck again. I'm like, hey, what's up?
What's up? My name is Free Use.
Yeah. Okay, Chris, we gotta wrap this up.
Yeah, we gotta wrap it up. What is something?
I was gonna ask you.
Okay, I'll let you do it.
Chris, what is something? I know we talked about your crushes, but what is something that you refuse to be down bad about this week?
I'm gonna refuse to be down bad about rejection.
Oh,
I'm gonna realize. I'm just gonna allow myself of like that's a part of life, and just like how my old therapist said. Reward never comes without risk. And it is what it is. And not that I was like angry or anything like that, but just more so of like, look, see this more of as someone who's been a closed off and guarded person for a very long time. Like the fact that I got to feel those feelings is more of like, that's a good sign than, oh, I was stupid.
I love that.
What is something you're not going to be down bad about this week?
This week, I refuse to be down bad about my directness and my and my power. In that sense, my masculine energy. I think sometimes I've been doing this thing where I'm like, if I was literally like a white man right now, everybody would be like, "Wow, that is so respectable."
Yes,
but because I am not,
it's like, seen as
you're crazy. You're too much. You're extra. And like, I refuse to be down bad about that this week. And you know what? Moving forward, I'm like, if I'm too much for you, that's fine.
Right.
We don't have to. I'm not going to be down about. Yeah. If you're not here, if you fuck with me, I fuck with you.
Yeah.
In the words of Kendrick and SZA. 30 for 30 for 30. So yeah, I'm not going to be down bad about that energy.
Quincy, if people like the things you say and the way you say it, where can they follow you?
You can follow me at quincy.yeoman on TikTok, Instagram, et cetera, et cetera. Find us at The Down Bad Show. You can find either of us there. All the links to all these things are in the show notes.
Yes. And y'all can follow me at Chris Mejia Comedy on Instagram and TikTok, at Topher Mejia on Twitter and Twitch. This episode will come out when it comes out. But thank you so much for listening. Please like and subscribe, share with your friends, give us a rating, a review. 5 stars, obviously dope. 4, we'll take it. 3, we let our haters be our motivators. And 1 and 2, keep it to yourself. But thank you so much for listening. And please continue to follow us on social media at The Down Bad Show on Instagram. But thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, until next time, stay up.
Stay curious.